Protem, I sat this morning and listened to the preacher. She said a lot, but I took few things. She said we are on a stage. She said that we should do things today for tomorrow. And she also said that we should keep it focused. Those were three things I took from the preacher this morning. But then against this background, since we are on a stage and we should keep focused and we should do things for tomorrow, I have for many months, if not years, spoken about this Contec global contract with the Liberian Immigration Service. Protem and colleagues, is not just because I want to speak or I just want to be noticed. I'm pushing this thing because it has so many implications on the Liberian government, its people. In my communication on October 28, 2025, Madam Protem and colleagues, I outlined that this contract was signed in 2021, October. And this contract is intended to digitize resident permit for aliens residing in Liberia. Protem, it would be interesting to note that the contract says that in the period of 5 years, there should be 350,000 cards to be digitized for aliens. Protem, it's not possible because our immigration inflow annually is just 6 to 7, at most 8,000 aliens per year. How possible can they digitize 350,000 for 5 years? And the contract says if the 350,000 card is not digitized, the contract automatically extends. That suggests that this company, if nothing is done, will be here for the next 45, 50 years by the contract. Not only that, this contract has performed so lowly. We have issues with revenue losses when the immigration themselves was using paper documentations to do resident permit. Our revenue generation was $6 million US a year. Now it's less than $3 million, and we have to share the $3 million 60-40. When we were doing it as immigration, we're getting $6 million plus yearly. Now we have Contec Global, we're getting less than $3 million, and we're sharing $3 million 60-40. Thereby putting pressure on government to support Liberian Immigration Service, when in fact the Liberian Immigration Service is supposed to be supporting the national budget. Protem, this is so serious, and not only that, the technical incompetence. These people should have established offices all around the country for the first 90 days. As we speak, they have a tiny office on 10th Street with less than 5 employees. And all of the employees are all Indians. Immigration as an institution do not even have access to the data that is being collected. The data is being stored in India. Yes. And if you read about data protection, for which we don't have, we try to create a law to protect our data. As we speak, our data are not protected by law. Wow. It means you can manipulate, you can do anything about data, you will not be prosecuted because we don't have any law protecting our data. So, Madam Protem, our sovereignty is at stake. And because we are on the stage and we can keep focused, Madam Protem, we have to rectify this situation ASAP. Madam Protem, it will be good enough for us to look at this case, and in my mind, if my colleagues can agree, let the leadership take care of this situation, because I have spoken about it, communication is ready, and as we speak, there has never been a report on this thing regarding a way file. Madam Pro Tem, I will rest and listen to other colleagues. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem.
Thank you, Senator Bobo Cyrus. Any I want to speak on this matter? Senator Nukwe, followed by Senator Doko.
Madam Pro Tem, thank you. At the hearing yesterday, at the budget hearing yesterday, we flagged the same issue. Actors in the executive branch of government or agencies in the executive branch of government have the habit of entering into service contracts and deciding by whatever means they think is good for them to decide how government money should be distributed. And as you heard Senator Cyrus said, in many instances, the service provider is given 60% and the government takes 40%. Even in many instances, those monies are not properly accounted for. But then when it's time for budgeting, they make revenue projections and include those revenue projections that are based on those contracts that didn't come to the legislature. And by the time we approve the budget, it means that we have indirectly approved those contracts or ratified those contracts. So we raised the issue here yesterday at the budget hearing and requested the Ministry of Finance to bring all of those contracts on which some of the revenue assumptions are based, especially for Ministry of Labor. They have a contract. For immigration, they have a contract. Transport, they have a contract. CTN, they have a contract. Medtech, they have a contract. So they decide how much money is being generated, how much you go to the contractor, how much you come to the country. And we don't see those agreements. But the revenue projections are made and then incorporated in the budget, and then we pass the budget indirectly. We ratify those contracts that we haven't seen, or we give our approbation to those contracts. So this time we are seeking the indulgence of this plenary to ensure that we properly vet all of those contracts. And if the provisions in those contracts are not in the best interest of this country, we should revise them, or we should make the necessary appropriation in the budget, revenue projection in the budget, and request the government to do the right thing. So I just thought to raise that because it's about time that we take the necessary actions to correct some of these wrongs that have been done over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Nukwe. Senator Doko.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, I'm hoping that my addition to the disco will help to bring out a lot of things and create the urgency that we need in addressing the case being raised by Senator Momo. This does not only rest with Contec Global, there is also a company that is being contracted by labor in the same period. When you do a fiscal analysis of the two contracts in terms of the trend of our revenue generation for both labor and immigration, you will understand that within 5 years of the contract, the Liberian government will be shortchanged in the process. You will realize that there will be no reason why you will allow such a contract in this country. Because if we share 60-40 in revenue for the printing of ID cards and tax our people or levy fees on our people to pay, for example, say somebody pay $100 and one company take 40 and we take $60 for it. over a period of time, you will notice that indeed the company is getting more. We are creating an avenue where we make foreigners richer than our government. If you look at the analysis. Two, the company being listed, including Metex and that of CTN, if you go through their books, and we can call the NRC here, and other companies, other entities here, the business plan of the institution for which we grant them some of these things, if you see that, you will know that the return on investment, okay, is higher. Now, if the return on investment is higher, then you cannot cap the investment. If you cap the investment, automatically you will know that indeed, though all of the contracts are subject to concession or military approval. Because the investment that will be generated by that, okay, as per the return on investment, should be more than $10 million. Second, we can be telling Liberian people that people are paying fees to the government, and then we are sharing the fees without the approval of the legislature. Because all of these contracts go with sharing of revenue. So it undermines the very legislation. So I believe that it's important what we cannot cherry pick. If we look at an entity agreement that is not correct in the same pattern, then all should flow the same way. People cannot be we are borrowing money from partners, but yet companies come here and borrow money from us. How are they borrowing money from us? You have an agreement that says you should do X, Y, Z before you start to carry on your investment. But you say you are operating and collecting the people's money, and you're using the money to carry your investment, like the case of Metex, like the case of Contec Global. Because you are raising the money, sharing it, before you start to do what you're supposed to do. The same thing with the traffic management. You are collecting the money before your investment, so you are borrowing from us. By right, that should even go with interest. So it's coming upon us. But if there's no time here, they use our money to build a terminal, to build whatever APN terminal, they use our money. Because they were raising money from people using the things that base the marginal Y and other things. It's getting too much. The issue about involvement into the process. We talk about value added here. The generic part of it, we don't have Liberian into the market, so we are at risk. We are losing revenue. Then we have been threatened by our data. Like he said, we just passed here a cybercrime security law. We expect we also receive the data protection. Our critical infrastructure, we don't have control over them. Pretty soon, these people sell data, just as they used to sell carbon credit for Liberia. We have to be very mindful, and I think we should take it as a emergency for this legislature. One, to protect our revenue, to protect our authority to share revenue, and at the same time, protect our data security. Thank you.